Hello everyone, Rambles here, and welcome back to World of Warcraft Classic Era Hardcore and our Dwarf Hunters leveling campaign. Thank you guys very much for joining me in Azeroth today. Really do appreciate it, and I hope everybody is doing fantastic. We are going to start off in Stormwind today. We need to do some class training, we need to do some pet training. And then we gotta take a look at engineering. There should be some more patterns for engineering that we can learn. I pulled everything that we had in our bank as far as materials for engineering. So we have all of our stuff on us. I crafted some light shot. And the negative part of all this is we have no inventory space. So anything that we don't use in the crafting session, we will pop back into the bank. Let me turn the music down because we're gonna be here for a minute. I want a music equalizer add-on. An add-on that just makes all of the music tracks play at the same volume would be amazing. Alright, pet training, we can train Greater Stamina 2 and Natural Armor 2. Now, I did spend a bunch of money on weapon skills. So I was able to train two-handed swords, one-handed swords, staves, and daggers. And I just figured I would take care of all that stuff now, but that might leave us in a little bit of bind for our training. Men pet I kind of need. Arcane Shot rank 2 I definitely need. And then I'm going to take men pets, and we're just going to have to wait on everything else.
Safe travel.
There we go.
Interesting.
There we go, we can do scopes now, copper modulators, and with that we are actually completely broke. Copper modulators take linen, but it looks like this might be a decent way to get some skill ups, and then the modulators are an item that we're going to need to make other engineering stuff. For the crude scope, we need a copper tube. Oh. I mean, it increases the damage of the gun by 1. I don't have the money for a weak flux. And we need a weak flux to make copper tubes. Yeah. I mean, there's not really anything I can sell right now. So maybe that will just have to wait. I'm going to do the 6 copper modulators for now. I'm not going to worry about the scope right now. We'll get it eventually. When I have some more money to buy things like weak flux. We are going to make a stop back at the bank, and I'm going to put all of our engineering stuff back into the bank. If we can find a cook fire somewhere in the square, we can cook some of the lower level meat that we have. It's not guaranteed skill ups or even very likely skill ups. But we should either cook it or we should sell it or some combination of those things. None of the buildings around here have like fireplaces that we can cook at. Even the inn doesn't have a kitchen, which for an inn is a little bit weird.
What can I do for you?
I'm going to keep some of the bars and the rough blasting powder in case we get into a situation where we have to craft some light shot out in the field. But pretty much everything else I'm gonna stash. If we can get a couple of cooking skill ups, I can learn this recipe and get it out of our inventory. Flask of oil we can just put in the bank, I suppose. Same thing with the hops. I don't know if we'll do the hops quest, but I'll put it in the bank for now and we'll think about it. Okay, I think that's really all we can do. We are at 83. We need 2 skill ups. I bet if we can cook this stuff, we can get 2 skill ups. So we're either going to have to find a fire or make a fire. You know, there is a fire back in Westfall. So we can do that. Let's just hearth back. Oh, that's Goldshire. Ooh, I did not reset my Hearthstone to Westfall like I thought I did. It's a typical me thing to do. Oh, you know what? We trained him in those skills, but I have to come in here and actually spend the points to actually learn them. There we go.
Light be with you.
At least I remembered before we got into any combat. I don't have enough money to fly.
Be careful.
Well, that's embarrassing. We're gonna fish for a little bit as I think about like how broke we are and how sad that makes me. Kind of just reevaluate our life here in the world of Warcraft and either come to terms with how broke we are or find a way to fix it. My fish got away. My fishing skill's not good enough to fish here? Why not? My fishing skill is at 53. Like, I feel like that should be more than sufficient to fish in this little pond outside of Stormwind. There we go. Wow, okay. We'll have to take that as a sign. It's a sign that says I need to find somewhere better to fish. And I need to focus on fishing a little bit more. Oh, we have lots of ore around here. We're gonna have to kill some Defias, but that's okay. Oh, look at that. Somebody is already doing that work for us. All we have to do is come up the hill here and grab the copper. And then there was one in the water behind us as well. Oh well, there's one in front of us. Am I going to be able to make this climb? Yeah, potentially. Surprisingly, the answer is yes. I guess I didn't really think we can get all the way up here. And we have Defias back here, like hanging out. Oh, this is that little house. Oh, maybe this is not the house I'm thinking about. I've been to a house up here once. I don't know if this is it, or if this is something different. This is like a little Defias hideout. We're definitely going to see what's inside the house. 95% chance that there is nothing at all inside the house. A small chance there's a chest with junk in it, but we're going to see. It's pretty heavily guarded. I feel like this has... Oh, there's a chest over here on the dock, actually. This has to be used for somebody's class quest. There's just so much here. Why would this be here for no reason? Well, that's not necessarily great. But I think we'll be okay. These guys are only level 9, so should be fine. Alright, so there's nothing inside the house, but there is a fire. So we can use that to cook. And then obviously, this is our house now, and we live here. How cool would it be to be able to just bind your Hearthstone to just somewhere in the world? We could bind it at like out-of-the-way places like this. It doesn't really serve a purpose, but it's pretty cool conceptually. Player housing 0.05. Well, there we go. We got a bunch of junk, as we suspected. Now the only question is this a good fishing spot or not? I think I'd rather fish in this other direction. Ooh, look at that, there's stairs taking us back up. How convenient. Let's fish in the direction so that we can see enemies as they respawn. Which I'm sure they will pretty soon here. This is a very, very scenic spot. I see some respawns starting to pop up back over by the house. Once we get respawns near us, we'll kill them all again, and then we'll go inside the house and do our cooking. But until then, we fish. Maybe we should start clearing some of them out. We found a small brown pouch. It's too bad that we don't have any more bag slots to put that in. It's really just too bad. Of course, it would be the hunter that finds many, many bags after we are already full on bags. Let's cook all this stuff in level order if we even can. You know, we need an inventory spot to be able to cook it. Let's toss these. The okra. Oh, you know what? We need the okra for the quest. Oh boy. Okay, well, this is not super convenient after all, but let's just see what we can do. All those greens made and we didn't get a single skill up. That's rough. It's okay, we'll get the ones we need from the Longjaw Mudsnappers. Which are still orange. Guaranteed skill ups. Alright, let's make our way out of here and continue on our journey back into Westfall. It's a very nice little detour. what we thought was an inconvenience became a little fishing, cooking adventure instead. And we got to kill Defias. Cleaning up the forest, one bandit at a time. There's virtue in that. We got our copper node out here as respawn for us. I kind of wonder where this lets out back here. Like, where does this lead? If we follow this through to its conclusion, it looks like it comes out somewhere in Westfall. Maybe we should just follow this little river inlet. See where it drops off. Scroll of Protection, we can go ahead and we'll cast that on our pet. Apparently this area is called the Thunder Falls. That looks like a good way to lose a hardcore character to me. What do you guys think? Now the real question is there any way for me to get out of here short of hearthing out? You know, maybe we could swing this. Okay. It's like a jumping puzzle, kind of. Okay. Now, ideally... 2, 3. Okay, that was close. It was close. A risky detour. Probably not worth it to take that detour. It was a close one on that fall. We gotta get to a vendor right away. Before we really try to do too much of anything. It's tempting to come down here and go after the Murloc eyes right now, but with 3 inventory spots? I don't know. I don't think so.
king's honor, friend. Go with honor, friend.
Alright, so now that we have a little bit of inventory space, we could probably go after Murloc Eyes. We need one more ochre. I could have swore at one point or another we had all the ochre that we needed. Perhaps I vendored our ochre at some point. And we need Murloc Eyes. And we need Gortusk livers. Very nice. That is level 14. What awesome stuff do we learn at 14 that I can't afford? Thankfully, nothing really. The only thing I really need to get is Wing Clip. Need to get that ASAP. Besides that, we are good. Let's spend our talent point. After this, we might go into Improved Aspect of the Hawk. Maybe 2 points, and then we'll do 3 points in Thick Hide.
Greetings. Be careful.
Okay, now that we have a little bit of inventory space, let's go north. We'll go after the gnolls. We need 7 more paws, and then we need to go after Murloc eyes. We have a slightly unhappy pet. Let's go ahead and fix that. I don't know if we can take these guys or not. That's the thing. I don't think that we can, unfortunately. Maybe if we had one more level on them, maybe if I had been a little bit more prepared for pulling so many. Maybe then we could have... Oh, of course, as soon as I turn to kill the one low on HP, they reset. They didn't even really reset, they just evade bugged. Okay, that's okay. We've also got some ore around here that I want to pick up. It looks like maybe somebody else mined our other node. I don't see it on the map anymore. Oh, wait, I spoke too soon. I feel like the distance at which the mineral tracking works is variable. Sometimes it feels like we can see things from a long way off. Sometimes it feels like they don't show up on the minimap until we're really close. Compact shotgun. Oh, that's actually slightly better than what we have. Very nice. I'm glad that we didn't make the scope and waste the scope on the gun that we just replaced. Very cool. It's always like, it's such a good feeling to find a weapon upgrade. Especially in self-found, obviously. But in any version of vanilla. Do we think there's a way to pull this that doesn't pull more than 2 of them? I thought pulling this guy here on the end would aggro by himself, but it didn't seem to work that way. Let's try one more time. Let me stand all the way back here. Yeah, they come all together. And I don't know if I can get them all onto my pet. And if I can, if that's actually, like, safe. But let's see it. We can heal the pet. I have bandages, and I can do, like, the actual men pet. Which I might have to do here in a second. Let's give him a mend. And then I might even hit him with a bandage. Okay, that did not. For some reason, that didn't keep casting. Not sure what happened with that. Well, there we go. All in all, that worked out okay. You know, being prepared for that is powerful. Walking into it and having to react to it, we just weren't quite able to get it under control. Kind of the same thing here, like we can definitely do this, but let's send the pet in first and let him get full aggro on everything. Like, let's just send him in. We'll hang out back here for a minute. Okay, make sure everything's hitting him. Okay. Not necessarily good. Not necessarily good. The pet is certainly going to die here. I don't have the mana. Didn't have the mana to heal the pet. At the very end there. And we're going to have to melee this guy down, which should be okay. We have a potion if we need it. It's going to suck to blow the potion here, but we may have to. This would be a great time to have wing clip. Thankfully there's no other enemies around that he can run to. Okay. Oh, kadoki. Let's eat and drink and then we'll get our pet back out. Pet is unhappy. Pet needs to eat a little bit. He got really unhappy from that death. We might have to feed him again before he goes... Oh, there we go. He went green. Okay, perfect. Alright, we got enemies popping back up here on the outskirts of this camp to be wary of. It looks like we got the orb behind us respawned. Very nice. Well, there we go. We finally got a Gortusk liver to drop. That's 6 out of 8. We have 2 inventory spots remaining. Maybe we should pop down here and check out the Murloc situation. Murloc situation looks like dead Murlocs right now. Looks like the respawning soon type of situation that one tends to be wary of in hardcore. Yeah, it's looking like everything's going to pop back up here in a minute. So we're going to have to be ready to deal with that, essentially. Just cross our fingers. Maybe we'll get our Murloc eyes rather quick. The small barnacle clams are going to ruin us. Let's have him eat this last piece of coyote meat. That'll let us open the clam up. Maybe we just don't bother with an empty inventory here. Let's double back to Seldian's farm and just dump our inventory, and I'll stop being lazy. It is tempting to pick off these respawns.
Well met.
I have some malachite stored, so I'm okay with vendoring that.
For the Alliance.
We could work on some first aid soon, but we've really been using a lot of the linen to level up engineering. And I feel like for a hunter, the engineering is probably more powerful than the first aid. Alright, there's our last okra, as long as I can avoid vendoring it. We need one more gore tusk liver, we need 2 more murloc eyes, and we need a couple of knoll paws. The drop rate for us has been, you know, pretty low, but I've enjoyed it because it's meant more grinding, more kill XP. And the grinding is very cathartic and enjoyable on the hunter for me. There we go, there's our last liver. See, this whole camp is respawning again. We can do this, these same pulls again, the same series. We kind of know what it looks like now. I wonder if I just send my pet in if we aggro everything. Do you think if he went and he stood over here, we'd aggro that other camp of 3? Because it would just be easier. Okay, yeah. It'd be easier if he can grab aggro right away on all these guys. And I might put him on passive and pull this ranged guy back. Alright, let's passive him. Let's run back here. Get this ranged guy to follow us out a bit away from that other camp. There we go. That was even better than the first time we approached that. Alright, same thing here. And there we go, we are done with that quest. So the last thing remaining is our Murloc eyes. It's mana up here. Looks like most of the Murlocs have respawned. I don't see any other players in the area right now. Which means it's all up to us. And I have to be careful. Not going to be any help around right now if we get ourselves into a bind. And there we go, that is 3 out of 3. Got those very quickly, and now we can get out of here.
Light be with you. Light bless you.
Can I help you? Safe travels. Farewell. Have a good one.
Need help? Go with honor, friend.
Greetings. See you later. Be careful.
What can I do for you?
Alright, so now we have the quest to go visit Wiley over in Red Ridge, and we do have the Red Ridge flight point. I want to do the People's Militia Part 1, and I want to do red leather bandanas before we get out of here and go to Loch Madan, which we are going to do some questing in for sure. But I am out of time for today, guys, so I'm going to park it right here at the inn. Next time, we will start with the Defias, and we will go from there. I'm having a lot of fun on this hunter. I hope we continue to live for a long time. Thank you guys for joining me on our adventures today. If you're digging the series, leaving a like really helps me out a lot, and I appreciate those that do. Until next time, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we will see you back in Azeroth very soon. Bye for now.